A grand kitchen with the latest design touches is surely something to behold. However, before you go all in, you may want to think about how you're actually going to use the kitchen, whether for entertaining or heavy-duty cooking or something in between. Virginia Tesi is an interior designer, and she believes that having a plan to maximize your space can make all the difference in the world.
Every kitchen should be maximized for accessibility and ease of cooking. No matter what size kitchen you have, and whether you're building it or it's existing, you need to think about where your pantry is going to be. In this kitchen, we have the luxury of having 2 giant closets that we took a wall down and made them the pantries. In a smaller kitchen, you would do a pull-out from ceiling to floor, which would give you the same access, similar to a spice rack pull-out. Pull it out of the wall, you'll be able to see everything on both sides. You would access it easily and you'd be able to see everything. If you have a very small kitchen, just take the largest cabinet you have. My motto is there's a place for everything and everything in its place, and it should make some kind of sense. So if you put all of your carbohydrates, you would put them all on one shelf. Pasta, your rice. I put all of my baking things on another shelf. So this way, even when friends are over, I can say, if you go into the pantry on the top shelf, you're gonna find what we need to make this. A spice rack, I try if I can to put it next to the range. Again, it's easily accessible. When you pull it out, you can see things on both sides. You never have to dig through anything to find it. Spices are tiny, so it's not that they take up a lot of space, but if you have another pull-out, you can use the entire depth of the cabinet, and every inch counts. When you're designing a kitchen, islands are really very big now, and they really are big because people live in their kitchens. So the island has become the meeting and greeting place, but you also can use the island spatially. Underneath where you have your bar stools, a lot of times if you have the space, you should put a cabinet there. It's not easily accessible, but it's great for the holiday dishes, for the things you don't use every day. Also, we put microwaves in the island now. You try to keep everything off the counter as much as possible. We try to hide outlets and wires as much as possible, but with everything charging these days, you really need a lot more outlets than we have. I don't like to see them on the top of the counter, so I have a pop-up on the side of the counter so that there's easy access for charging and for anything else that you need the outlet for. Pots and pans, similar to everything else in the kitchen, should be as easily accessible as possible. And if you could pull out a drawer and pick up the pot and not bend over as much, if you can put each pot in its place by itself, that's fabulous. A lot more people are having wine refrigerators where they can, or even a rack for their red wine within a cabinet. The other thing is, when you have a bar area especially, you can get a little more creative in the kitchen. You can do the bar cabinetry a different color. You can do the bar countertop a different color. But when you look at the kitchen as a whole, it's a cohesive, fabulous design. When it comes to putting away your cutlery, of course now there are dividers that you can get anywhere. Utensils, on the other hand, take on a life of its own. Just make the dividers wider. Make 4 dividers in a drawer instead of 6, so you have enough room to throw the utensils in. If you have the space, I like to dedicate a small drawer to just the knives. They line up nicely, and it's a safety issue, and it also protects your knives from being dulled and getting a nick in the blade. As long as I've been working in this business, I made a big mistake in my last kitchen that taught me a very valuable lesson. I took away a cabinet in a very small kitchen and realized that you need 2 wall cabinets close together that can house all of your dishes and glasses. So no matter how large the kitchen, you have to think about the space and the functionality. Even when it's large, you need 2 more cabinets. But when it's small, you really need 2 more cabinets. But you really have to think of how everything works. Usually you'll have a cabinet on the wall next to the sink that houses your dishes and glasses. It's usually 2 cabinets if you really have enough room. But sometimes it can only be 1, which makes it a little tight. In that case, usually shelving is adjustable. You really only need 7 inches between each shelf. It will fit all the glasses, it will fit 12 dishes, it will fit 6 bowls. So this way you get 4 shelves in that 1 cabinet. I'm very big on having people come to my home and be comfortable. It makes it like you live here also. It makes it easier for me, and it makes people feel more comfortable. Everybody lives in their kitchen now anyway.